Hi, in this video we're going to talk about Liferay staging in 7.2. So as a history, we started Liferay staging back in version, I believe, Liferay 6.0. We keep investing in adding more and more feature to that one. And Liferay 7.2, we came with a beta product. It's called Change List, which works as a staging. It's still beta, so what I will show you, I'm gonna show you the staging feature of Liferay 7.2, showing the new enhancement and the new feature in this, and also I'm gonna demo the change list, which is a beta product that is gonna target staging environment, and that product will be available in the next versions. All right. So the first thing I want to talk about it is the staging feature. So I have Liferay DXP website here, and I'm going to show you how you can enable the staging. So when you go to the left-hand side panel here, there is a publishing, and then you can see there is a staging. So I'm going to click here, and now you can see for this website there is no staging. So I'm going to start configuring it. I'm gonna do it on a local live. In your case, you're not gonna use the local live. You're gonna use something called remote live, which means that you gonna connect your Liferay environment with another instance that is remote, that is deployed remotely, not on the same server. So your staging environment and your production environment will be completely separate. But just for a demo purpose, I'm going to use the local live, which means the staging and the production environment will be on the same machine, since this is just a demo, but in your case, it's going to be a remote live. And the other thing also, what I'm going to do, I'm going to just keep staging for only documents and contents. I'm not going to enable the other content just to show you the concept that is going to work with everything else. All right, so I finished this here and I'm going to click save. So now let's actually start to create the staging environment for me. So if I went back to my sites, you can see here there is the live environment and there is staging environment. And you can see when I click on live, there is no way I can edit anything on the page or anything. It's only on the staging where I can start adding stuff on the pages. All right. So if I actually took this URL and I went to another browser, I'm not logged in, and just click enter, you can see here I only see the live environment, I don't see the staging environment. Right, so let's see how that works. So on the staging environment, if I went here and I decided to edit the home page and add a new content, so I'm gonna click add, I'll look for web content, add it on my page, and now I'm gonna click add basic web content test. This is just to test staging environment. All right. So I'm going to publish this. And you can see here I have a content. And again, this is just on the staging environment. If I went to the live, it's not there yet because I didn't move it from staging to production. And even on that site, when I refresh it, you can see there is nothing here. But if I came to my staging environment and I decided to make this page ready for publication, now I can push this page to production. So I can say push to live, and it tells me there is one web content to push it to live. There is two pages to push it. So I'm gonna click push to live. And now if I went back to my pages, hit refresh, you can see now this has got into life. So you create stuff on staging, you do your editing, everything on staging, and then you can move it from staging to production. The nice thing about staging also, you can create something called page or site variation. So let's start with page variations. So page variation, basically you're creating two versions of the same page and edit them, and you can decide which version makes its way to production. So let's see how that works. So I'm gonna go ahead here and I'm gonna create page variations. So for the home page, I'm gonna create one page variation for the home page to be published for, let's say, for Thanksgiving. So in Thanksgiving you want to add different content than in the new year. So I'm gonna name it here Thanksgiving, and I'm gonna add another page variation for New Year. Okay, so now when I go to my page here, if I just click this, you can see for the home page, I have two page variants. So I have the uh, Thanksgiving and the New Year page, right? So by doing this, let's say for example, I went to the Thanksgiving on in the Thanksgiving, I'm going to edit my page, make it two column layout, and I'm gonna place this content here. And maybe I'm gonna place for Thanksgiving another web content. And here I'm gonna add another basic web content and say um, happy Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving content and publish it. So now I have my content, the page completely different. So the layout is different, have different content, and maybe on the New Year variation here, I need to just keep it as it is, but I'm going to remove the top web content, and I'm gonna add another web content, and in this web content, I'm gonna name it Happy 2020. Right? So now for the same page, I have two variants. I have one for Thanksgiving and one for New Year. Remember, until now, I didn't publish anything in production, so production is still the same. So let's say it's Thanksgiving and I want to publish my content to Thanksgiving, so I'm gonna go to the page variant for Thanksgiving, make this ready for publication, click Publish to Live. All right, and now if I went back to my page, hit refresh, you can see now it's the Thanksgiving page got published. Let's say it's time for New Year, so I can go to the New Year one and then make it ready for publication and then publish it to live. Click publish. Now if I went back here, just hit refresh, you can see now it's the New Year page got published. So staging has a lot of features that you can use to move stuff from your staging environment to production one. Let's talk a little bit about the concept of um, the change list. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here, I actually gonna use another site since I already used that site for the staging. So I'm gonna use site one, and let's see how change list works here. So on the control panel, you're gonna find this change list, and you can go to the settings, and you can say I want to yeah, it's like okay. So I'm gonna actually just disable staging first because I cannot use both of them at the same time. Hopefully I will be able to do this remotely. Staging. Okay, so I'm going to disable staging first. Go to my site. Okay, so now I don't have any staging or anything. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start enabling the change list. So I'm going to my control panel, change list, settings, and I'm gonna enable this. Okay, and now I'm going to my save and go overview. So now you can see here I have my production server, which is what I have now. So anytime, so now I'm in production. So anytime I need to do any change would be directly go to production. So if I decided here to add any content, so let's say I'm gonna add my uh, I, New Year was already there, so I'm just gonna remove this, add the Thanksgiving one. Okay, so if I did this, now I'm editing everything directly in production. So if I went here, just hit refresh, you can see I see the Thanksgiving one. But let's say I want to not using the production. I want to use a stage, like kind of a staging environment first. So I need to go to my change list, and in my change list, I need to add a new change list, and I'm gonna name it anything I want. So let me name it, for example, staging one. Okay, so now I am in my staging one. So it's the active one. You can see it's the active here. You can see I'm on a change list. So if I went back to my site here, on the top here, it tells me I am on the staging site. I'm not on a production one. So I can come here and edit this web content. So I'm gonna edit it. So I'm gonna say Happy Thanksgiving and New Year. Okay, so I edited this Thanksgiving and New Year, publish this. You can see on production, I still don't have this content because this is on a change list staging that I just created. So if I went to my change list, it tells me there is one modification here that you can publish it to production. So if I click publish here, okay, so that actually move it. You may see some errors doing this because that's still beta. That's not fully functioning feature that it's going to be completed by 7.3. So if I went back to my site here, hit refresh, you can see now I was able to publish my content from the staging work list to the production one. Also, the idea is to be able to view your history. So any change you move it, you're going to be able to view in the history. This is not working now. Again, it's just because it's a beta version. But this is actually the future of staging that we are going to have. The nice thing about this also, you can create multiple change lists. So I can move stuff from one change list to one change list. And that helps you if you want you move your content from production environment to staging environment to pre-production environment to other environments. So this is the future of the staging feature that we'll have, and it's going to be coming on the next releases. Thank you.